Hello, friends. In today's reading, there are two stories about visitors. We will see what blessings they brought and what kind of welcome they got. I also like to take something nice when I go to visit someone, a blessing, something I baked maybe or made myself. Right now, I'm visiting my daughter Susanna's home because I came to help her with her new baby. And here I feel very welcome because every night they thank God very sincerely for me. And every now and then Joel says, Ma, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Susie and I have many chats. And even my little granddaughter is happy to play and laugh with me. Think about your own experience of visiting. Can you remember a time when you visited someone's house and felt uncomfortable or unwelcome? What made you feel like that? Maybe you can share with one another. Also think about a time when you felt welcome and what made you feel welcome. I also thought about these things. Maybe we got the same answers. So we feel unwelcome when people may be too busy or too distracted. Maybe while we are sitting there, they're looking at their phones or one eye is on the TV, which is on. And maybe we got a feeling they were just waiting for us to go. And we felt welcome and happy when people were happy to see us and they sat and talked to us and laughed with us and listened to us. And when we were going, they said, please come again. So let's look at these two stories and see what kind of welcome was given to the visitors and what kind of blessing was left behind. The first story was about Abraham. 3 men came near his tent. A reading from the book of Genesis. The Lord appeared to Abraham by the oaks of Mamre as he sat at the door of his tent in the heat of the day. He lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, 3 men were standing in front of him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed to the ground and said, O Lord, if I have found favor in your sight, do not pass by your servant. Let me bring a little water so that you can wash your feet. Rest yourselves under the tree while I bring you a little bread, that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on. So they said, do as you have said. And Abraham went quickly into the tent to Sarah and said, quick, take a sack of fine flour, knead it and make cakes. And Abraham ran to the herd and took a calf, tender and good, and gave it to a young man who prepared it quickly. Then he took curds and milk and the calf that he had prepared and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree while they ate. They said to him, where is your wife, Sarah? And he said, she is in the tent. The Lord said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. The word of the Lord. Let's think about this reading. The 3 visitors must have been angels. Did Abraham make them feel welcome or not? What did he do to make them feel welcome? So I got 5. He ran to meet them. He showed them respect. He bowed to them. He gave them water. He served them a very special meal. And one important one, he stood near them while they ate. He didn't just serve them and go away. And what about the blessing? What blessing did the visitors leave? The blessing of a baby son, which was an actual big miracle because they were both very old and God had promised them a son. Let's look at the next story, which is from the Gospel. There's another visitor, and let's see what kind of welcome he got and what kind of blessing he was wanting to give. A reading from the Gospel of St. Luke. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving. And she went up to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me. But the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but you need only one thing. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. The word of the Lord. So a few questions. Who visited whom in the second story? Easy one. Jesus and his disciples visited Martha and Mary. Now both sisters loved Jesus and wanted him to feel welcome. But more important is Jesus wanted to bless them and make them happy, and that's why he came to visit them in the first place. Did both sisters enjoy Jesus's visit? What do you think? Mary seemed to be happy, but Martha was upset, angry, stressed out. Why do you think Martha was not happy? Because she was trying to do a lot. Jesus himself said, you are anxious about many things. It sounds like she was trying to make everything perfect, perfect food, perfect house, everything should be, and everyone should say, wow, Martha's such a good person. And the other thing was that she was angry with her sister. So quite often when we are angry with someone, then we are not able to be with Jesus. Doesn't that happen? Anyway, so Jesus didn't leave it like that. He talked to Martha and he said something very important. He said, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but you need only one thing. What do you think Jesus meant? What was he trying to tell Martha to do? Sit with him and listen to him, just like Mary. He said, Mary has chosen it, so it's your choice. I think Martha understood what Jesus wanted, because the next time we read about her in the gospel, when Jesus came to their house, she was the first one to run out of the house and meet him and talk to him. There was also someone else who was corrected by Jesus for the same thing. She was also a friend of Jesus. Her name was Gabriella Bossi, and she was a very talented French actress. She used to write plays and then act in them also. And she was invited all over to stage these plays. But even though she was rich and famous, she loved Jesus more than all her riches and fame. From the time she was small, God used to talk to her very clearly. When she was older, he told her, write down what I tell you. And so she began doing that. Now, Gabriella loved to go to church because there she felt very close to Jesus. But one day, after receiving Jesus in communion, she got distracted, just like Martha. She started looking at the other people and thinking about them. And suddenly she heard his voice again. He said, my Gabriella, when someone you love comes to your house and is sitting in your hall, do you leave him there and look out of the window at the people passing by? Gabriella understood what he was saying to her. You can read all Jesus's messages to Gabriela in this beautiful book, He and I. It's one of my favorite books after the Bible. So, what about us? Jesus loves each and every one of us, and He comes to us because He wants to bless us. It's like the angels blessed Abraham and Sarah. But sometimes we are so busy doing this and that, we are distracted. We may be stressed out because we're angry with someone, like Martha and with her sister, and we miss Jesus's visit. And when we don't sit with Jesus, we miss his blessing. We miss his love and his healing and his peace. We become more and more stressed out. It happens to me too sometimes. And Jesus says to you and to me, there's only one thing that you need. You don't need to do so many things. First, do the one thing that is needed. Sit with me quietly, listen to me, let me bless you. That's what I really want to do. So let's just spend some time and sit with Jesus right now. Pause the video. Something to do this week. Each one decide on a time that you are going to sit with Jesus alone. Then the rest of the family help the others to have this quiet time. Don't let anyone disturb them until that time is up. And every day, tell each other if you have spent time. So that will help you to keep going. All the best. See you next time on Family Faith Time. Bye.